I was painting in there and it was near completion, and a woman came in whose son worked at the museum, and she was in the room for 5 minutes and finally said, "Now, what are you going to do on the other side of the gates?" And the gates are painted on mirror. The orientation room grew out of an idea that I first practiced in New York when I lived in a townhouse and I had a large bathroom. I put grass cloth on the floor, painted the walls to look like hedgerow. The ceiling was painted like a sky. And then down near the John was a gold framed watercolor of an English garden maze. And the center of the maze was my bathroom. I was trying to think of what would surprise children when they walked into this room and create an illusionary atmosphere. And as I began to develop the idea, then all of a sudden I said, oh, I'm talking about the secret garden. And that open door that's painted on the wall with a little girl looking through in surprise is based upon that story. I've been in that room when children come in and I try to be a fly on the wall. They get very quiet because they don't quite know what's going on here, but they're fascinated by it. Trompe-l'œil is a French term which means to deceive the eye, to fool the eye. It was used back in Pompeii in the atrium houses where they had no outside walls. So they would paint frescoes to create the illusion. Trompe-l'œil is fun. I like people to question their senses. I like people to be surprised. The doors that are there that go to the docents' rooms are designed not to be obvious, but invisible doors, creating the environment for the rear screen projection, the doors that fold out, and then a platform that pushes out from that, and making it functional as well as decorative, so that when people walked in, they thought they knew the whole story, but then they didn't. It was the same year that the museum was being constructed. Michael Rowe was responsible for the suggestion. I made a model to convince the people there what it would be. It basically all goes back to stage design. The tricks of the trade of how to create an illusion, and I tried to use as many as I could. I considered it very successful. I look back on it and there's very little I would have changed about it.